If you're looking for tools to boost your productivity, this is the perfect video. Here are my 5 favorite tools to do that, all based on artificial intelligence, since that's what we like on the channel. Obviously, a tool doesn't have to be based on AI to be useful, far from it. But those ones are game changers in terms of efficiency and performance, and I had to share them with you. By the way, if you like AI related stuff, you should subscribe to the channel since you'll get weekly super interesting content with interviews, explanations, and news in the AI world. For the first one, let's get right into the tool that I use the most and that you know of, ChatGPT. We had to mention it. ChatGPT is amazing for many things, and I already shared a video on how it works if you're interested in that. It's useful to create templates for many repetitive tasks involving text, like emails or social media posts for recruiters. It's even useful to create interesting and more appropriate variations of your own text. For instance, if you are not a native English speaker like me, ChatGPT is a first-class writing assistant. Just write your text and ask it to rephrase it, keeping the same format and information. I promise you, you will be mind-blown by the quality of the writing and results. And it doesn't stop with text, it can even help you code. But I'm pretty sure you know almost everything about ChatGPT, so let's go to the next one. We are staying in text for a second one with my favorite by far, Grammarly. Grammarly is just a fantastic corrector. Not only that it helps you correct your sentences live, but it also is embedded into most text inputs from any website or even on your phone, whether you are typing a tweet, an email, or a LinkedIn post. It will help you find your mistakes, correct them, and suggest better formulations and even identify the tone of your text if you'd like to make it more formal or engaging. Grammarly truly helps with the writing process and just to quickly improve your emails game. And no, I'm not sponsored by them, I've just been using it since we had it for free in my first data science job in 2020 and kept using it ever since. It may be because I'm not a native English speaker, as I've said, but it has been incredibly helpful. Let's keep with text, but for the opposite reason. Ingesting text more efficiently using Cohere's new AI summarizer tool. I've had the chance to be one of the early testers being a Cohere ambassador, and it's pretty impressive. I love being able to summarize a long article or video into a few lines. I used it myself for my own articles to create social posts since you can customize the output pretty well to get the length you want. And the summaries are even better than what I usually do. Of course, this is not peer-reviewed results, it may be because I am bad at summarizing, but it has changed how I work, and I recommend giving it a try. They also have an API endpoint for this new summarizer to embed wherever you want. This is how I use Cohere, but they also have lots of cool stuff allowing you to generate, categorize and organize text since they are building their own models and APIs you can use. It contains pretty much all you need for better productivity when it comes to content generation. Definitely check out Cohere if you want to speed up your time-intensive and redundant processes through their playground or APIs. I just want to highlight here that, as I usually say, take those powerful generative AI as some sort of Wikipedia page. You can generally trust it, but the information isn't necessarily true. Plus, they may take information from the internet due to how they were trained and not credit their real authors, which could lead to plagiarism issues and will be simply unethical to do as you have the responsibility for the tools you are using. Still, I recommend using any tools that can help you in your own work by making you more efficient or through which you can learn and get better. Please just do not use it blindly. Just like using a GPS when driving makes you dependent on it, try not to become dependent on AI help. When speaking of productivity, we have to talk about meetings. I'm not entering into the importance of meetings or if they are necessary at all. You can judge that by yourself. I'd simply recommend reading the 4-Hour Workweek book by Tim Ferriss or listening to his podcast if you haven't before making your mind on this. By the way, this is not related at all, but I now also have a podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts called What's AI by Louis Bouchard. If you enjoyed this type of long-form content, where I interview experts in the field to discuss their career or new topics. They always share amazing tips you can apply to your career or just to improve as an individual. I love doing those interviews and getting better at doing that. Hope you enjoyed them too, let me know if you check them. So coming back to productivity, and more precisely meetings, I'd recommend 2 tools. The first one is Otter.ai. and the second one is mem.ai. Otter.ai is amazing during your remote meetings. It will automatically summarize what you talk about and split into the different topics you covered. This is incredibly useful for interviews or long meetings that cover a wide variety of topics. Definitely a plus to have for your video conference or calls. Note that I am not sponsored by them, and this is the one I personally use, but I believe there are many other applications that do a similar job. I just recommend using one of those to help you save time and better summarize and organize your meetings. Speaking of meeting organization, this is why I use the second app, mem.ai. Mem.ai has a lot of features, but the one I enjoy the most is how it automatically organizes your content. There are templates for pretty much everything, including meeting summaries. Just edit what you had from Otter.ai or write it down yourself and never lose it in a lost Google Doc ever again. It allows you to have much better organized and centralized notes. It's like a Notion on steroids. There are also lots of features that I'm not even using yet, but I think could be quite cool since you can connect it with your emails, calendar and other apps to keep track of everything and help you organize your day. Those two are a must-have if you have online meetings in your job. If you think these tools were useful, well, the most useful is the future. What I mean by that is you need to know when interesting tools are released and try them out. You never know when one will change your life and save you hours in your week. So more specifically, my preferred tips is to follow AI newsletters. These will allow you to keep up to date with all the coolest releases and most powerful tools. For example, there are a few daily ones I really love, like Synthetic Mind, TLDR AI, and Ben's Bytes. They give you a great approximative 5-minute summary of what happened in the field, which is largely enough to make sure you catch the next ChatGPT-like tool. Another one, if you don't like newsletters, is following AI news YouTube channels like mine, obviously. But there are other ones out there, like ByCloud, that I really like. I linked a few of my favorites in my guide for learning machine learning that is in the description below if you are interested in getting more such tools. And here's a small bonus just for you. Most of these tools use what we call prompting. I made an introduction of what prompting is in a previous video, but simply put, it's how we communicate with those AI tools. So it's quite essential to understand how best to talk with them to get what you want. This is why I recommend learning a bit about prompting. A friend of mine created a completely free online course called Learn Prompting that will give you the basis of prompting and advanced tips to best leverage those AI models. He also plans to keep up to date with new prompting techniques and models and improve it over the years. So have a look at learnprompting.org and bump your AI whispering capabilities to the next level. By the way, this is again not an ad. I'm not making money for shouting out Learn Prompting, and it's fully open source, if you'd like to contribute and make it even better. I genuinely think my friend Sander did an amazing job, and it will legitimately help you better use ChatGPT, Midjourney, and all those AIs. And voila, those were my favorite AI related tools. I hope you've enjoyed this video and found at least one tool that will help you. Please let me know in the comments if you are using any other AI-based tools that I didn't share here. And tell me if you'd like another video like out of the tools you guys share with me. I could do a best of from the community. It could be pretty useful. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.